Hey guys, welcome back to Dad Life Fishing Adventures. Today I want to talk about one of our favorite techniques to catch largemouth and smallmouth bass in lakes, rivers, and creeks. And that is fishing the Zoom horny toad, the soft plastic toad. The way that we like to fish it, how we like to throw it, that's what we're going to talk about today to make you a better Zoom horny toad fisherman, a soft plastic toad fisherman, and why the Zoom horny toad is the best option for this classification of bait. And part of that is because of its versatility. So this is a slow sinking plastic, but that allows us to throw it both on top water and on subsurface. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the three techniques that we like to cast it on. First, let's talk about the setup, equipment setup that we like to use while throwing the bait. So first of all, we like to use spinning tackle to throw this bait, and the reason why. We like to use a 7'6" medium light or medium power rod with about a fast to moderate fast action that gives a lot of casting ability for this bait. That's what we like to use. We're using about a 35 or 3000 series reel, and we're using 10-pound test Power Pro braid with a 10-pound test Abrase X leader, and then our Zoom horny toad is pegged on the 4/0 owner twist lock light wire hook. And that light wire hook is important because we're trying to get that hook into the mouth, into the flesh of the fish's mouth as quick as possible, because these bites are fast and we only have one hook to get them, and we don't have treble hooks like a whopper plopper or any other types of surface baits. This one we have to get it hooked in tight, and then we fight the fish and use the forgiveness of the rod to help keep the fish pinned. So the ways we like to cast, the first thing that we love to cast is because, one, this bait flies a long way. So it's a slow sinking plastic, but it's also kind of heavy. And when you throw it on this light gear, you can throw it a mile. And when using soft plastic baits like this, that long cast, getting any topwater bite is extremely important. All right, so the best part of this bait and this setup is the long cast ability. So that's key. So let's demonstrate. Long overhand toss, you can cover a lot of water. That is key. And then we're going to talk about the retrieves that maximize that cast and how we use it. All right, so the type of cast I like to use with the top water is to go along edges, just like this edge right here. So we're going to make a long cast, and then we're going to keep the rod tip up, and whoa, we actually got a fish. That was easy.
Did you actually?
Here we go.
That's hilarious.
Oh, he got off. That's okay. All right, so the technique that we're going to use is we're going to make that long cast, rod tip up, and keep it up just like that. So just like, and there's another hit. They're rocking it. So steering it with the rod tip. So I'm using the rod tip to steer the bait right into the strike zone, keeping it moving on the surface. So cast again. That time we're in a little bit shallower. Steering it with the rod tip, keeping it right where we want it, just like that. All right, the next retrieve is kind of a mixture. I like to use this when we're both fishing along the edge, but especially over shallow structures. So if I'm fishing it like over some rocks or over a log or over the shallow areas, but I want to work it a little slower than I have been, that's when I make the same long cast, but I twitch it using the tip of the rod just like that, and I keep the bait just under the surface. So I'm not using that leg kick the same way, but I'm letting the rod move really slowly along the just subsurface or right on the surface. And I can go in really shallow water but be very finessey with this bait, and that's what this technique is. So that real small rod twitch, and what I'm doing is I'm mirroring that twitch with my reel. So when I'm reeling, I'm doing that same kind of just slow technique, barely moving up, and there we go. Oh, missed him. They're trying to take it.
I want to fish now.
We're gonna catch something today. Trying to demonstrate and focus on demonstrating instead of fishing. So the next cast, and this is the cover water cast, so a long cast is key. But then what I want to do is I want to drag one long drag with the tip of the rod, and then I will every once in a while do a twitch with the tip of the rod, and then one long drag, twitch, one long twitch, and I'm reeling in the slack. I'm not reeling in the bait, and that's key because you want that bait to move naturally. If you reel it in, you're gonna get that top water, but this is keeping it under the surface of under the water, and it's perfect because when you get across maybe a key piece of structure, you can pause it, let it stop, let it flutter down, and then kick it into gear, and that's when the baits don't get struck. So again, we'll rerun this little angle here, but with that slower technique, and see if we get another bite. It still don't get struck like a topwater bait. Now what we've seen is 2 misses, and that maybe is the fault of this bait. If they don't get the whole bait in their mouth, sometimes we won't get that hook, and that'll make it a little tougher. So, and that also, when you're not really thinking, you're taking just not really being focused on setting the hook, you'll get yourself in trouble. One of the things I like to do is I like to have it on sightly a heavier drag, because I don't want that drag to start peeling. I want to get that hook in the fish's mouth if I can. So it's a topwater bait, and it's got a single hook, so it's a lot like a buzz bait as far as hookups go. Sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't. So if you're doing that little top thing, like I'm fishing over weeds, and then I might switch over to a long drag if I come into an open period, and just keep on moving that bait smoothly. All right, let's see if we can get it to skip under that tree. So just like that, see how we can get it to skip easy? That's another big plus of this bait. Get in those tight places. Now, here I'm going to talk a little bit about some knocks on this bait. So one of the things that is kind of tough, it's not as amazing a plastic as maybe the Z-Man products are, but I do appreciate because it works on the twist lock hooks. Z-Man doesn't very well. But one of the knocks is one of the legs gets broken off. Big bass grabs one of the legs and you just lose that little bit of kicking fin there. It won't run right, so you have to replace it even with that, just a minor defect just like that. So something to keep note if you're using this, that you might run into times when that defect causes you to go through baits, especially if they're short striking you over and over again. And if they're short striking, what I would say is turn away from this bait and put a treble hook plopper. Now, something that this bait excels at that you can't do with whopper ploppers or any spooks or anything with treble hooks is that you can throw this bait in the fall when there's a lot of leaf litter on the rivers and creeks or on the lakes. Get a bunch of leaves in the water. This bait really is a great technique to make that work. So it's all about angles when you're casting, always getting in these tight places, getting the right angle, using that long 7'6" rod frame to allow you to get out, especially when you're bank fishing like this. Steer it right around the edge where I want it. Okay, let's assume that we want to go in thick. First thing I would do is I grab the bait and I'm going to hide the tip of the hook in the soft plastic just a little bit, just like that. That'll keep it from getting snagged on when it lands, if it lands upside down, which it can. Okay, and I'm going to throw it right in the thick of stuff, get it up on plane quickly, and it's completely weedless. Work it over lily pads, scum, all sorts of crazy thick stuff that way. Let's try that over here too. if you can, the best place is to try to land it in an open piece and then get it going and cover that thick stuff. That's what I like to do. Hey guys, right now we're gonna switch to some creek fishing where I use this technique to catch monster smallmouth. Follow along. Under the surface, and both elicit strikes at different times. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted. That's a nice bass. Oh my. Boy, he hit hard. This state, oh, he is running right at us. Holy crap. This fish is coming. Nice fish. Oh man. This is one we gotta measure just to see. He's not huge, but gosh, he hit it hard. Yes. There we go, guys. New net that we've been using. Look at how this fish ate this bait. Guys, just look at that. In the mouth. Solid. Yeah, it's them good. Look at that fish, guys. Just a quality fish. Got him. Oh yes. Stay on, baby. This is a good fish. No, how good, but it's a good one. Oh, it might be a really good fish. Oh yeah, this is a special fish, guys. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, no, 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 no. Oh. Yes, I got him. I got him. I got him. I got him. Holy crap. A toad on toad. Thank you, buddy. We're recording. Thank you, bud. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about fishing these soft plastic toads, and specifically the Zoom horny toad, why it's such a versatile bait. Anytime there's a topwater bite, whether it's a little stingy or if it's on fire, throw this bait out there, especially when the leaf litter or the surface and weeds and everything are saying that you can't use treble hooks. Throw this bait out there, give it a shot. You'll be surprised how many fish it catches. If you haven't yet, pound that like button, drop us a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We will see you next time out on the water. God bless.